These three examples look at factoring trinomials in the form of x squared x and a constant. And the way to factor these is we're going to be making a graphic organizer. And we're saying what multiplies to the back number, c, so it has to have a product of c, and at the same time sums to the middle number b, so it has to sum to the middle number b. So for number one, when you convert this to factored form, one thing to notice is that you always have double parentheses. X squared splits as x and x, and so again we're finding the factors of the last number, 30, that sum to the middle number 11. So it has to have a product of 30, and at the same time it has to sum to 11. So the factor pair that would work here would be 6 and 5, because 6 times 5 is 30 and 6 plus 5 is 11. So my two factors would be x plus 6 and x plus 5. And of course we could check our answer by distributing. So x times x gets me x squared. X times 5 is 5x. Distribute the 6 to both terms. 6 times x is 6x, and 6 times 5 is 30. And if I combine this, I get back to x squared plus 11x plus 30. And again, when you record your answer, it doesn't matter if you write the x plus 6 first or the x plus 5, because you're just multiplying. All right, so for number two, convert this to factored form. So I have double parentheses, x squared splits as x and x, so I'm going to make my graphic organizer. What multiplies to the back number, so it has a product of negative 40, and at the same time sums to the middle number, negative 3. So to get a negative product, I know there has to be one negative, and the factor pair that would work here would be negative 8 and positive 5. Negative 8 times 5 is negative 40, and negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. So my two factors would be x minus 8 and x plus 5. So for this last trinomial, it is called a perfect square trinomial. We'll see in our answer why it is called a perfect square. So again, I know that I will have two parentheses in my factored form. X squared splits as x times x. And so I'm saying what multiplies to the back number, 64, so a product of 64, and at the same time sums to the middle number, negative 16. So I know that in order to have a positive product, I have to have double negatives, and since my sum is negative, I knew to throw in those double negatives. So the factor pair that would work here would be negative 8 and negative 8, because if you multiply negative 8 times itself, you get 64, and if you add negative 8 plus negative 8, you get negative 16. So my two factors are exactly the same, x minus 8 times itself. So you could actually write this as x minus 8 squared, which is why it is called a perfect square trinomial, because the factor x minus 8 is squared.